Welcome to Southwestern Community College, and also welcome to the Medical Laboratory Technology pinning ceremony. At this moment, I'd like to take a few seconds to recognize some special guests. We have the president, as you see back here in the corner, Dr. Cecil Groves, and his wife. And we also have Dr. Gene Couch back here. Let me see if I can get this title. Chair of Health and Human Services and Associate Vice President for Program Development. You know, I had almost memorized. We've had a few title changes around here lately. At this time, we're going to have Rachel Henry come up and do the invocation.
Let us pray. Father, help us to recognize the achievements of others and to build on the successes we have had. Help us to keep our eyes on the goals before us, and help us to realize that our strength and knowledge comes from you. And may we always give you the glory. Amen.
Production. Well, at least not to a lot of these people. They see me a whole lot more than they want to anyway. But they get to listen to me again tonight. And some of you who may not have had the fortune to have met me or know who I am, I'm the clinical coordinator of the program, Dale Hall, and I'm the one that keeps tightening the screws here, so to speak, on these people and keep them alive and keep pushing at them. And tonight, I get to maybe one of my last chances to address them as a group, and I want to spend just a minute or two here to talk about the significance of our pens. And you just take a minute and give a little bit of a charge to these graduates, or will be graduates in a week or so, our penning candidates. For those of you who have never seen our pen, you'll have that opportunity hopefully in a few minutes, but the main features include a flask, which is a round-bottomed container that we use a lot in chemistry. And inside that flask, there is a microscope. And what I want us to look at for a minute is what do we derive from that? What is the purpose of that? Or does it have a purpose? Well, I like to think it does. When you look at a flask in regard to chemistry, what you see is a large round-bottomed container, which is very stable. So it sits on the surface as well, and it's hard to tip over, and it does its job of containing fluids very well. Also, a unique thing about this particular kind of flask is it narrows from the bottom toward the top, so it has a narrow neck. That aids in preventing spills. It makes it easier for us to mix solutions. So it has a lot of advantages in just its shape. Now, it also offers a lot of control because of the way it's shaped. We're able to handle it in a secure manner no matter what we've got in it. It could be something that could be very poisonous or very harmful to your health. We still got a lot of control. And what you're going to see about this flask is that it's full of the school color.
I want my dark green Powerade.
So we hope what we've provided you in your time with us is an instrument to contain knowledge. That you're going to have the ability to handle this knowledge and be secure in what you've learned, be in control, and be able to dispense that knowledge in the ways that you need to dispense it as you go out to do your job. Now let's look at the other part of the microscope. Inside that flask is a small gold microscope. Now I don't know how many of you have ever used a microscope, but the unique thing about a microscope is the fact that you can examine things from different perspectives. You can have a really high magnification so you can look at very small objects very closely. Or you can adjust it so you can look at big things and get a perspective of how many of them are involved in the area that So what's the significance of that microscope? We want you to take that flask full of knowledge that you've got and apply it in situations and be able to examine what the need is for that particular situation. So what we strive to do is give you a good base knowledge of information and the ability to apply and reason to that information so that you can adapt to the very situation you're in or will be in professionally. I want you to recall for this committee, and I think all of you folks that are here can relate to some of the situations that I'm going to talk about. Think about 2 o'clock in the morning study sessions. Or I've got to get this paper done and my child is sick. Or I didn't get the laundry done tonight. And I'm not sure I'll have time to get it done tomorrow night. And if I have to type one more paper, I'm going to shoot that computer. I don't know if I can stand this one more day. How many times have you said that or felt that? And how many times have your families have felt that? Gosh, my husband never has time for me anymore. Well, my wife must have divorced me. You know, I never see mom or dad. What have they been doing with themselves? Well, what I would like to think about for a minute and compare them to is a small rodent that lives, and not that any of them are small rodents, but I want to think about a small rodent that lives in Europe called a lemming. And there's 2 kinds of lemmings. One kind of lemming comes out of his hole one day and starts running toward the ocean. They live on these cliffs, the ocean. And for some unknown reason, they start running toward the ocean, and they run right over the cliff into the ocean and kill themselves. And everybody else, all the other lemmings, look around and say, hey, you know, that lemming was a friend of mine, and he just ran over the cliff. I think I should follow him. So they run over the cliff. And there are thousands of these animals that follow one right after the other, right over the cliff into the ocean, until the second kind of lemming comes along. And he looks out at his hole and he says, what are these crazy people doing? We don't need to do that. We don't have to dive over that cliff just because somebody else did. Okay? What I would hope for you today is that you're going to use that flask of knowledge and that ability to look at things very closely and decide that you want to be that second kind of lemming. The kind that's going to think about what's going on, think about what's necessary, and decide that you can make a choice and perform your function without necessarily adhering to what the crowd says that you have to do. Now, each of you is going to go out here into a different setting, probably. No 2 of you are going to go to the same type of job eventually. You're going to go to physicians' offices or reference labs or hospitals or maybe in a veterinary clinic. You don't know at this point in your career. But what I want to challenge you to do is to use that knowledge we give you. To think about the abilities that you have. Because despite all those times that you've sat around and said, I can't do nothing today with this, there's a little thing on the front of your program I want you to look at. It's down the side. And it says, celebrate success. What have you had? You've had success. This is a very successful point in your career. You've had any number of reasons, any day of the week, for the last 2 years, to have said, I quit. I'm not doing it anymore. Can't take it. But you didn't do that. What have you done? You succeeded. And we're proud at the school, like I speak for everyone associated with the school, we're proud that you are being successful. Because that gives me the opportunity, after all those nights when I said, I don't want to grade another test, I don't want to have to look at another sheet of homework answers. Okay? Now I can go home and say, man, I'm glad those people have been successful. And they're going to go out and they're going to get jobs. And they're going to feel good about what they've accomplished. Because that's what we're here for. And that's what we're proud of you for. So basically, that's what I want you to think about every time you look at your pen, is the success that you've had in accomplishing that little bit. You know, it seems like a small, trivial ornament that you'll have somewhere. But every time you see it, I hope that you think back, and yes, you're going to remember some of the bad things, but I hope more than that, you remember the successes you had. The things that, the opportunities that this has allowed you, the things that you're going to be able to do because you did decide to stay with it and be successful. Now, in tonight's presentation, we are, and
I want another pillage.
in the past. Basically, our
I
program
want
is
another
always been,
pillage.
we have the candidates come up and we present
I
them.
want another
The
pillage.
students say, well, we want to do something a little different. And so, hey, we're open to suggestion and change. So tonight, what I would like to do, and I know that some of you feel like, and it may know several of these people, but some of you may not, or may have just heard my name as the person you're associated with, talk to. So we want to give you a chance to be able to see all the different individuals. But I'm going to introduce them one at a time, and then they're going to introduce someone special to them who's helped them, or who's been an encouragement, or who's been of special support. And we're going to let that person present that to you. So, as I call these candidates' names, I'm going to ask them to come forward, and then they'll ask their person who's going to present their PM to come forward. Okay? So, and I'll ask that, I do want us to applaud these folks, but I want to ask you, let's wait and applaud all of them at once. Okay, so give one big round of applause. They'll hold their applause till the end. I would appreciate it. We'll start by introducing Frida Adams.
Mommy, I can't get out of here.
I'm going to thank my family for supporting me, supporting me. And actually, I wanted my father to come up and pin me because he's had such an interest in what I've done. And it really helped me.
I'm done talking. I'm done talking. What is it in there? What did you say?
Our next candidate is Hugh Franklin.
I would just like to thank my family, my mom and my dad and my wife for all their support. Surely couldn't have done it without them. I want my dad to be his name's Hugh also. Come on, Dad.
next candidate is Alice Gibbs.
I want to name my parents. And I like you.
Next candidate is Brad Vince.
Oh, I can't.
First of all, I'd say thanks to my mom and dad for putting up with me through a greatly extended college experience. The person that I've asked to pin me is my sister, Tracy Stafford. She was a nurse. She lives in Chattanooga, Tennessee, and has been able to sympathize as far as the medical school experience. And so that's the main reason why I've asked her to put it.
My mama.
Next candidate is
Oh,
Sabrina
that's
Moore.
mama.
The first thing that came in his audience, and I know he's ready for you to be done, so I can get a job, of course.
Not that demanding. Our next candidate is Tina Picone.
I'd like to thank my parents, my sister, and it is my child that is crying, so if you want to let him come on up, you can. I would like to thank Dale for being there. I would have to admit he's been my therapist for everything I've been through. And Dale has been a wonderful teacher, and there's nothing like her test, I will go ahead and tell you. So if my parents would come on down.
Our next candidate is Lindsay Shelton.
I'd like to thank my family for all their support. I want us, my girls, to do Chelsea and Matthew.
Our next candidate is Tony Stanley.
This, excuse me, is one of the happiest days of my life. Not just because of this pen, but most of all because of my family and friends who are here. And I want you to know that I love and appreciate you. And I thank you for being there and encouraging me and sticking with me through thick and thin. I love all of you. And presenting my pen to me will be Harold and Mildred Owen on behalf of all of you.
And last but not least is Tina Wood.
I'd like to thank all of my family, and I want my son Cole to pin me because I'm so proud of him for his flexibility and all the weekends that he had to stay at home while I studied.
Now, I'd like to give a big round of applause. I included a verse of scripture in the program that I feel like was fitting to this particular group of individuals. It comes from Ecclesiastes. It says, whatsoever thy hand find to do it with thy might. I believe that this group is going to be very much that kind of group. I think in a few years, you're going to be hearing good reports in the newspaper about these graduates from Southwestern Community College and the things that they're doing and the way they're benefiting the community and the way that they're able to help people in their healthcare profession they've chosen. I have a special thank you link to tonight also. I want to thank my wife and children because they do without me a lot too, because when I'm out persecuting all these penning graduates, they end up spending a lot of time shooting baskets by themselves, and they don't necessarily like that. But they help me out a lot, support me, and I want to thank them also. And now for our benediction. Just keep right.
Before we have the benediction, I would like to take just a minute on behalf of the class and thank Andrea and Dale both for their support. And if they would mind to come down here, we've purchased a plaque for them. Let them know how much we do appreciate it. Dale, Andrea. Everybody would bow their head in prayer. Father, for the blessings of the past and for the blessings of the future, we are truly thankful. We ask for strength, guidance, and encouragement as we begin new endeavors. Guide and direct us as we leave this place this evening. In thy name, amen.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I never. Thank you.
I told him he's got a lot of good people, and I expect a lot of good
There's Brad chomping in his pen.
Get farther away and zoom in.
I got it.
Last year we went in November, but the first time we went in May. It was hot the first time. You go to one city and then you can take day trips onto that, you know, and so you don't have to look and stuff.
Well, it would be fun to do something different.
I'll give you an idea and then you can see if you'd like to do that or not. Because some of the things we've seen already.
Well, and we don't want.
Yeah, and the hotels. First part of October.
Oh, we can't go in September?
No, because it's.
Faculty, families, friends, but especially to the graduating students. It is my honor. I am proud to share in the achievement of your goals. Not everyone can set goals. You have done so, and I am proud to share in it with you. I really struggled with this speech today because I knew I was speaking to a varied group of people. I was not speaking to only 6th graders, I'm not speaking to only 8th graders or only 12th graders. I'm speaking to a wide range of ages, a wide range of interests. So I struggle with this to try to come up with something that I hope that you could remember, that at least remember by tomorrow. I have to admit that I have been pretty nervous today, and I have made speeches all over the country, even with the President of the United States on national TV when I never got a flutter. But today I've been nervous, and I think it's because what I want to say to you, I want to mean something to you, not to me. I offer you no profound message today, but I do want to offer you some simple words of wisdom, which I hope will give you food for thought. As I prepared for the speech, I realized that I have listened to many speeches, but I can recall the words of none of those graduation speeches. Even though at the time I heard them, I thought they were wonderful speeches. What I hope to do this evening is to give you some thoughts, as I said, that I hope you will at least take into tomorrow, if not further into your lives. I recognize fully that most of you have already been out in the real world. We don't need to talk about that. I know that most of you have returned to school as adults. Adults who decided to make a change in your lives. No doubt, this having come after much struggle and many disappointments already in your lives. As someone who returned to school late, after struggling with raising a family, and after struggling with doubting my own abilities, and also looking to a future with little hope, I truly can feel your pride today in what you've accomplished. As an adult in college, I remember thinking, will it ever end? Will we ever get through this? Because you need to hurry, because you need to get out there and make a living. Then I remember that day of graduation, that feeling of elation, of accomplishment, but mostly that feeling that a great load had been lifted off my shoulders. I know that most of you, or not all of you, are feeling that today, and I share that feeling with you. I do not need to tell you that the challenges you will face now are easy, and your challenges have only just begun. You are now prepared to work in the career of your choice. I want you to think about those words, of your choice. Of your choice. I have always told students, particularly high school students, the difference in education and not having an education is not about money. It is not about prestige. It is about allowing you as an individual to do the job that you want to do, not the job that you have to do. Think about those words. Now you have made a choice, and now you can do the things and do the job that you want to do. I have seen so many unhappy people working in jobs that they despise because they did not have the courage to take the risk to try something better. How many of you graduates have thought of yourselves as risk takers? Well, each of you are, or you wouldn't be here today. I was recently interviewed by a high school student who asked if I had any advice for the young people. She was doing an article for a newspaper. And my simple response was, yes, I have advice. Set goals for yourself and do not be afraid to take risks. That simple. The goals do not need to be on a grand scale, such as I want to be President of the United States or I want to be chief of an Indian tribe. But goals that you as an individual feel are attainable at certain periods of your life. When I dealt with people in my prior life as an educator, and now as the chief of my tribe, I have noted that those individuals who are most discouraged and most dependent on society are those who have the inability to set goals for themselves, who feel the world is against them, and who feel helpless to do anything about it. They have become discouraged over the years by failure, even small failures. And you know what? The saddest thing about that is they pass that failure to their children. That is the worst legacy you can leave your children, is a sense of failure and a sense of doom. Today I want to encourage you to view your failures. You will have failures. You will have challenges. I encourage you to view them as challenges. View them as lessons in life. When you fail to meet one challenge, Either revise it, discard it, or try another way to meet it. Your being here today, graduating with the career of your choice, is proof that you have the fortitude to meet not one, but many challenges. Within this book was a section about making life's decisions. And there was a quote by Elbert Hubbard that says, "The greatest mistake you can make is to be continually fearing that you will make one." This is what I'm talking about, being a risk taker. Never be afraid to make mistakes. Did you know that the physical symptoms of fear and the physical symptoms of excitement are both the same? Think about that. Think about that the next time that something makes your heart beat faster. Will you choose fear or will you choose excitement? When I first became chief of the Eastern Band of Cherokee Indians, my first year I was very discouraged at the number of people who were coming into my office seeking social welfare assistance. I quickly learned that this had been a practice for a number of years, although as a member of the tribe I had been totally unaware of it. In fact, there were times that first year I thought, I wish I had known this when I was struggling in school, wondering how I was going to pay my light bill, how I was going to buy my groceries. I didn't know the tribe did this for people. And I thought at first, this is wonderful that the tribe is able to do this. But I began to see more and more people come in and use that system. And I became discouraged. And I was deeply troubled even at the practice that the tribe and government would be involved in such a practice, because I didn't see it getting better, because the next year the same people were back. And probably if we had not made some changes, the third year they would have been back. It seemed that we were only band-aiding a problem and not really addressing it. Then one day I put it into perspective. I'm actually only dealing with about 200 cases. And today that seems overwhelming. But when I put it into perspective that we have 12,000 members, that's not very many. When I put it into perspective and reminded myself that 11,900 people of my tribe were out there, if not thriving, they were surviving on their own. This realization for me is what I would call one of my life's blessings. This realization also brought me back to my own rhetoric, reminded me of the rhetoric that I had been preaching for a number of years, to view failures as challenges. Here I was, feeling like a failure. I was viewing those chronic needy cases as failures of the tribe, or of the system, rather than viewing them as challenges that needed to be fixed. And it's been fixed. It's not entirely 100% fixed, but it's better. Back to a wonderful quote. God has given us two hands, one to receive with the other to give with. One to receive, the other to give. We are not cisterns made for hoarding. We are channels made for sharing. Share the knowledge that you have gained with others and serve as an example as you go forward. Congratulations and thank you for sharing your night with me.
Every like to recognize the extraordinary achievement of all of our graduates. I say extraordinary because, as Chief Dugan said, all of them set their sights on a goal, and with considerable personal sacrifice, plus the sacrifice of many others, and the commitment, they reached their goals. But some of our graduates, you should know, achieve their goals with the highest level of excellence. As the students cross the stage, you'll see that some wear gold braids to symbolize high academic achievement. Now, the term cum laude means graduating with distinction. For this honor, students must graduate with a grade point average between 3.85 and 3.89 out of a possible 4.0. Tonight, 9 students will graduate cum laude. Magna cum laude means graduating with great distinction, which requires a grade point average between 3.9 and 3.94, again, out of a possible 4.0. 7 of our graduates have achieved this honor. To graduate with highest distinction, or summa cum laude, graduates must have an average between 3.95 and a perfect 4.0, and 23 of our graduates have attained the highest level of achievement. Of the summa cum laude graduates, 21 have achieved a perfect average of 4.0. And now will all members of Phi Theta Kappa please stand up.
Diplomas and degrees, and would you graduates please stand for this, if you would. Now, by the authority of the Board of Trustees of North Carolina State Board for Community Colleges, and you're having completed all terms and conditions as required by your respective program of study, I hereby confirm upon each of you the certificate, degree, and diploma as so accorded, and to extend to all of you the rights and privileges appertaining thereunto. Now we're going to have the official awarding then of these degrees and handed out, and I'd have to ask the chairman of our Board of Trustees, Mr. Jerry Sutton, to please step forward. Mr. Cox, thank you.
J. Norris, Business Administration. Barbara Jane Grindstaff, Accounting, Office Systems. Glenda Sue Moody, Business Administration. Norma L. Taylor, Office Systems, summa cum laude. Wanda M. Bullock, Office Systems. Cum laude. Claire Ann Nordman, Occupational Therapy, summa cum laude. Frida Elaine Abbott, Medical Laboratory. Sabrina Henson Norden, Medical Laboratory. Tina Fisher, Medical Laboratory. Donna L. Hall, Office Systems. Galadriel Mitchell, College Transfer. Rebecca Robin Sumner, College Transfer, General Education. Brad Norman Jensen, Medical Laboratory. Hugh Lewis Franklin, Medical Laboratory. Libby Stiles Shelton.
Joyce.
Medical Laboratory. General Education. Joy Lynn Hudson, Radiography. Heather Ann Foster, Radiography. Melody Dawn Klein, Radiography. Regina Coggins Myron, Radiography.
Okay.
Last guy.
Get a crowd line up. Let's give our graduates another hand. We're just about there. Before we quit, let's give Chris Cox, the chairman of the faculty senate, who called all those names and did it perfectly. Let's give him a hand. Well, this is the concluding part of our 1998 commencement exercise. It's been a wonderful evening. For you graduates, we're delighted for you. And we so much as an institution, faculty and staff, appreciate what you did for us in your being students here. You honored us by your presence on our campus. And we're grateful to you for that. In turn, I know you're going to honor us as you go out in your work, as you're challenged to go forward, to look for what's good and what's best, to expect the best, and most likely that's going to happen. We're pleased for you this evening, and we're pleased for you parents and you family members for what these students have accomplished. And if you would, toward the end, students, would you stand? You don't have to be seated this time, stand. And I'm going to induct you in the Alumni Association. So let me do this. By virtue of your graduation, we welcome and recognize you as an alumnus and a member of the Southwestern Community College Alumni Association. We hope your educational experience at Southwestern has been both rewarding and enjoyable. And if you know of others seeking education or training, we hope you'll recommend them to Southwestern for their consideration. We thank each of you and ask that God's blessing be with you and your families as you move from here into the world or whatever it else you choose to do in work or going back to school. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we thank you for this evening, for this opportunity, and we ask then that the Reverend Joe Falk will come forward and do our benediction, and then afterwards we'll have the procession.
May the grace of God go before each of you to guide you, behind you to encourage you, above you to protect you, beneath you to support you, beside you to befriend you, and within you to give you His peace. Amen.
Ladies and gentlemen, afterwards there's a reception in the lobby.
Hey, Jimmy. How are you?
What are you taking my picture for?
Let them know you're here.
You can sure find out nice looking faces.
Hey, Jim. How do you like this one?
Oh boy, hey, that's
My success of my work and everything is due to her. It's not.
This is for Brad, not for Tracy.
What?
This is for Brad, not for Tracy.
What?
You said it, no, for you.
Tracy, the photographer.
Oh, yeah.
Behind the camera, look, Tracy.
He likes to take what he can boot on the place.
Okay.
One meeting and he should have talked. When they first got on the Arizona 6.
Hey, you got some goodies.
There's the lady you just saw in the film.
What is that?
All right. That's pretty good. Who's that from? Oh, the Thai? Oh, Leah Kirsten. Okay. Oh, man, great. Looks familiar.
Your time or our time? So you're going to leave 6:30 here. Last time we thought. Sarah, Dad, how do we know? What do you think is your